What if I told you the guy who played one of TV's most iconic detectives once voiced a leather-clad dinosaur? Yeah, that's not a joke. Christopher Meloni, the gruff, no-nonsense Detective Elliot Stabler from Law and Order, SVU, once lent his voice to a prehistoric rebel in a show so weird, it's basically a time capsule of 90s television. And here's the kicker, this role wasn't just a random side gig. It was a full-blown character with a personality so sharp, it could have cut through a T-Rex's hide. But what does this say about Meloni's career? Personally, I think it's a reminder that even the most serious actors have to start somewhere, even if that somewhere involves talking dinosaurs who think they're Fonzie. Let's unpack this. Dinosaurs was a show that tried to do everything at once. It was a family sitcom, a satire of suburban life, and a puppetry masterpiece that somehow managed to feel both campy and profound. The Sinclairs, a family of anthropomorphic reptiles living in 60 million BC, were meant to mirror human flaws, greed, laziness, infidelity, but with a layer of absurdity that made it impossible to take them seriously. And yet, the show worked. It's a testament to how weird can be brilliant, but also a cautionary tale about how even the most inventive concepts can fall flat in the long run. What makes this really interesting is that Meloni's character, Spike, was the perfect foil to the show's tone. He was a walking contradiction, a tough, leather jacket-wearing rebel who gave bad dating advice and called people Mr. S for no reason. It's like if James Dean got stuck in a high school drama club and decided to take it seriously. From my perspective, Spike's presence added a chaotic energy to the show that balanced out the Sinclair's more grounded, if still ridiculous, struggles. But then, out of nowhere, Spike disappears. No explanation, no farewell episode. Just, poof. Gone. A detail I find fascinating is that his absence is never addressed. It's like the show's writers forgot he existed, or maybe they realized they had no idea what to do with him. This raises a deeper question: did Spike's character ever have a future, or was he just a placeholder for a joke that didn't land? Now, let's talk about Meloni's career trajectory. He went from voicing a dinosaur with a leather jacket to becoming one of the most recognizable faces in crime TV. But what does that transition say about the industry? In my opinion, it highlights how versatility is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, Meloni proved he could do anything, from gritty dramas to animated sitcoms. On the other, it's almost like he had to earn his credibility by starting in a role that felt so far removed from his later fame. What many people don't realize is that Dinosaurs was a short-lived experiment, but it gave Meloni a chance to experiment with different tones and voices. If you take a step back and think about it, his ability to shift from Spike's snarky charm to Stabler's hardened intensity is a masterclass in acting range. And yet, I wonder if he ever looked back on Dinosaurs as a stepping stone or a footnote. Because let's face it, no one watching SVU would ever guess that the man chasing perps in New York once gave a T-Rex a makeover. But here's the thing, Dinosaurs wasn't just a weird show, it was a cultural artifact. It tried to blend satire with heart, and in doing so, it created a world that was both laughable and oddly relatable. Spike's character, in particular, was a relic of 90s teen culture, with his bad advice and even worse fashion sense. And yet, he resonated. Why? Because we've all known someone like Spike, the guy who thinks he's the life of the party but ends up embarrassing everyone. What this really suggests is that even in the most absurd contexts, human behavior remains strangely consistent. So, the next time you see Meloni on screen, remember, he once played a dinosaur who thought he was cool. And maybe that's why he's still cool today.